Hello, Munchkins! I miss you so much. I miss you so much that I even wrote you a story. It's called Jen and the Beanstalk, and it goes like this. Once upon a time, there lived a woman named Jen and her family on their small farm in the country. Every day, Jen would do her chores, sometimes with help from her family, like unloading the dishwasher, sweeping the floor, and cooking supper. But despite all their hard work, Jen and her family were very bored, with barely enough to do to keep themselves entertained during quarantine. "What shall we do? What shall we do?" said Jen one spring day. "We can't go anywhere or see anyone. But I do need to get seed for the farm this year. We must see if our neighbors have any extra that we can have. From a social distance, of course." So Jen walked the 2 kilometers to her neighbors. She lives in the middle of nowhere, you know. She hadn't gone far when she met a funny little dog who barked hello to her. "Woof, woof. Woof, woof." "Good morning to you too," said Jen to the dog. And she continued on her way. She stopped at her neighbors, but no one was home. Don't they know they are supposed to stay home in self-isolation, she wondered. But maybe they are just napping or out for a walk and not breaking the rules at all. Better give them the benefit of the doubt. She continued on and around the corner to her parents' house. And she rang the doorbell and took a few steps back, because social distance, you know. And then her father answered the door. When the door opened, there stood her father with a big grin. "How are you?"
Hi, how are you? I miss you. I wish I could give you a great big hug.
"I am doing good, Dad. I miss you too."
So what brings you around?
"I'm searching for seeds to plant in my garden because we are very, very bored and need something useful to do," Jen said. "I have just what you need," her father said, and disappeared back into the house.
You know, I happen to have a couple extra special seeds for you.
Okay. A short while later, he appeared holding something in his hand. The little old man looked around to make sure no one was watching, and then opened his hand to show Jen what he held. "4 beans?" asked Jen, looking a little confused. "4 magical beans seeds to be exact, my daughter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So magical are they that if you plant them overnight, by morning they grow right up to the sky," promised the funny little man. "And because you're such a good daughter, they're all yours just for stopping by and making my day." "Really?" said Jen. "And you're quite sure that they're magical?" "I am indeed. And if it doesn't turn out to be true, you can have your money back," he said with a wink.
Yeah, I guarantee they'll work. If not, I'll give you your money back.
"Well, that sounds fair," said Jen, since she hadn't paid anything at all. And she shrugged her shoulders and said her thanks and goodbyes as she pocketed the beans and headed back home to show her family. "Back already, Mom?" asked her son. "I see you came back so quickly. Did you find some seeds?" Jen smiled and reached into her pocket. "Just look at these beans, son. They're magical. Plant them overnight and—" "What?" cried Jen's son. "Oh, silly Mom. How could you walk back all that way with just 4 measly magic beans?" "Well, 4 beans are better than none," Jen said, and got to work planting her seeds. As she planted, she wondered if they really were magical, because in these crazy times, you never know what's going to happen. Then she went to bed, quite hopeful to see what would happen in the morning. To be continued. Stay tuned next week to find out what happens next.